We're going to have to come up with answers that set politics aside.
Oh,
they don't hear us.
They don't hear us.
They don't hear us.
Telling them, but they ain't listening.
I'm from Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and they don't hear us.
We're gonna bring you some stuff that's gonna make you feel better. They don't hear us.
They don't hear us!
Hey, and shout out to the folks who are covering this coalition, because they don't hear us.
Hi, my name is Halima. I'm the hostess of They Don't Hear Us. This evening we have
Sonya Thomas.
And what organization are you with, Ms. Thomas?
I am the Executive Director for Nashville P.R.O.P.E.L.
Could you please give us a brief description of what Nashville P.R.O.P.E.L does in the community?
Thank you for asking. Nashville P.R.O.P.E.L is a parent-led, parent-organized movement. We represent parents and grandparents from our most struggling communities who have children who are zoned or attend the lowest performing schools here in Nashville.
Okay. And can you tell us what inspired you to become involved with Nashville P.R.O.P.E.L in your community?
Yes, so I was born and raised right here in Nashville. I graduated from Whites Creek Comprehensive High School. And I never wanted to leave this city. I always wanted to be here and always been fascinated with all of my friends being here and just building a sense of community. And I'm a mother of 4 children, and I have a child who was really, really struggling in the school system, and found out after going through a parent advocacy fellowship and learning about the landscape of Nashville that he was in the 7th grade reading on the 2nd grade reading level, and that pissed me off.
Okay. So would you say that it was that key moment that influenced you to help shape the path for your organization?
I do this work because I never want another parent or grandparent to feel the way that I felt when I realized that my son was not getting the education he needed and he deserved.
What were some of the biggest challenges that you faced on your journey?
The biggest challenge that I faced was the parent shaming, the belief gap that many parents around this city experience, the racism that we experience. And the reason why I say that is because we were never meant to learn how to read. And so it really did not keep people awake at night that a little black boy like mine and others were not reading on grade level.
So how would you say that you overcame?
I took action. What I knew was that I wasn't the only one. I'm not alone. There are other parents who have children who are struggling, and so I wanted to build a movement of black and brown parents who would demand better, not only for their kids, but for all kids, and that's exactly what I did. I began to organize parents, develop them into powerful parent leaders, igniting a movement that demands equitable education practices in Nashville public education. I get up every day and do that.
I go to school. I go to school. I do everything my mama tell me to. I'ma learn some. Yep. I'ma learn some. Yep. I'ma learn some. Yep. I'ma learn some. I go to school. I go to school. I do everything my teachers tell me to. I'ma learn some. Yep. I'ma learn some. Yep. I'ma learn some. Yep. I'ma learn some. I go to school. 6 in the morning, mama at my door. Jumped out the bed, feet hit the floor. Stumbled to the bathroom to brush my teeth. Rubbing on my eyes cause I'm still half asleep.
What's the name of your school? 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 I hear y'all one more time. What's the name of your school? 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 What's the name of your school?
So what projects are you currently working on in the community?
So we're working with parents right now, listening to what they care the most about. And one of the things that we realize is parents want their children to be able to read. I mean, we send our kids to school to read and to do math, right?
Right.
And we send our kids to school so when they leave, when they go for 12 years, they leave successful. And right now we got kids going to school for 12 years and leaving with 6 years of education. And so as we listen to parents around the community, we wanted to know, okay, is this something that you care about? Are you caring? And they're like, yeah, like I want my kid to read. And so we began to launch a literacy campaign. And with that campaign, we wanted to make sure that parents understood how children learn to read, how to advocate for their children, but also how to demand better. And we do that through training parents around the landscape of education, literacy laws, and helping them to understand like their role and responsibility. And their role and responsibility is to make sure that their children are safe and they're loved, but there's a role and responsibility of the education system to make sure that they're taught how to read. And so we launched our literacy campaign, and we started off with data transparency. And what we learned is that parents are not getting the information that they need and they deserve, meaning they're not getting information that's meaningful, that's understandable, and that's timely. And we also noticed that parents were getting report cards that were misleading. So the report card says that the student is an average student, but then they get a report from the district that says the child is not reading on grade level. And so our campaign is to redesign the report card that tells the parent the truth. I don't think that's too much to ask.
No, I agree. So what impact do you hope this specific project will have on the community? Will it show that the parent and the teachers are actually partners in the said student or child education for that year, and they have to come together so that their baby can excel?
My hope is that the literacy practices that have been put in place, the teacher development that has been put in place, along with the interventions, that we see that through data. Mm-hmm. That we also make sure that parents are included in the conversation. And if parents don't have what they need to advocate, then there's something wrong with that. My vision is that Nashville has a world-class education. No matter what your color is or where you live, that you receive that education and you reach your greatest potential.
That's fair enough. So are there any partnerships or collaborations you're currently excited about or would love to start?
Absolutely. So I'm most excited about the parent partnership, the movement we're building. We're building relationships with parents all across this city. Over the last 5 years, we have directly organized over 7,000 parents. We have put over 235 parents into position to talk to decision makers. We've also spread the word through the media over 150 times, been in 3 documentaries across this country. And so we're amplifying the voices of parents and making sure that parents, especially Black parents, are looked at as partners.
Okay. Looking ahead, what are your main goals for the community in the next few years?
To come together. Right now, we're building a coalition of parents with our pastors, our electeds. I believe that this issue is an issue that should be keeping us all awake at night. And I don't think that we've gotten angry enough. I don't think we've stayed up enough nights around this. So building that coalition in the community is very important to me.
Okay. So how do you hope to inspire the youth?
That's a good question. First of all, this is an issue that they should be a part of. I don't know a child who doesn't want to learn how to read. And there's so many kids who don't know how, and they think that they're alone. And so I think telling the stories of our youth is very important. Just recently, we were in the 74, and that is a national article. And there's a child by the name of CJ who is telling his story. He's in the 9th grade, and he doesn't know how to read. And so I'm inspired by him. And I believe that we should be listening to the stories of children, and I think we should take action.
My name is Shamari Jones, and the name of my poem is Fire. Fire is hot, fire is blaze of anger. Fire is red like a tomato. Flames go high up to the sky like a white bird. Birds like a stone. The pain, so bad you can't even step 1 foot outside. Torture, every day, non-stop. The pain never stops. What we go through, we can survive the pain.
She said the pain. I got to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that. Come right here.
Voices with different types of confidence. It's loud or quiet. Different types of speeches with different types of power. The more you love your voice, the more your loudness goes up. If you love your voice will love you back.
My name is Denala Montgomery, and I'm a 4th grade poet. The name of my poem is The Pain of Leaving Someone You Love. Being loved by your love is feeling painful. But what is more painful? leaving your loved one knowingly that sees after you. That's the most painful. They know their mistake. They know they can change it. They know they're giving you pain, but they still won't change and can't change. But they know how empty they are without you. They have always loved you, but cannot express it. They have no one to express it to but their diary.
Okay. So when you say take action, what would that look like?
I believe that the action we need to take right now is to hold the district accountable. We have less than 30% of the kids reading on grade level, and that's a crisis. And the action that we need to take, first of all, is public awareness. There's so many people that don't even know that 3 out of 4 of the kids are not reading on grade level, and they're in the 3rd grade. And so that action needs to be that we're amplifying that. And then we need to hold the district accountable together to make sure that we change the trajectory of that.
And then it's not only reading, it's the reading and the comprehension, because we have some babies that can read but can't tell you what they read or explain what's going on.
So that equates to a struggling reader. There's a science to reading. It's systematic. It is explicit and clear, and we haven't been doing a good job with that. And so the reason why kids struggle with comprehension is because they don't get the foundational skills that they need in the first place. Comprehension is the last thing to come. But if a child doesn't understand sound to letter recognition, if they don't understand phonics and vocabulary, and they're not fluent, then comprehension is going to be a struggle for them.
Okay. What advice would you give someone who wants to make a positive impact in their community geared around our brown babies in education?
I think remembering where we come from and the people that we serve is very important. And I believe that when people have a passion about something, that they should say it and they should amplify it, because there are other people who are also passionate about whatever issue it is. And I think in leadership, one of the best leadership qualities that we can have is listening, but also asking great questions. So if there's someone who has a vision for something to happen into the community, then I think that they should talk to a lot of people about it, listen to what they care about, and see if they align, and then build a movement around it.
Where would one go to start? Because we always speak on starting a movement, building an organization, and I could have an organization in my heart, but if I don't know who to go to, where would you suggest?
Go to the people. I mean, that's what I did. I have coffees. I meet with parents all the time, one-on-one. Go to the people. See who aligns with you. See who has a common interest. That's how you build a movement. And then you just keep on duplicating that and talking to more people. But the listening part is the part that we have to make sure that we're focusing on as we're organizing people. And those relationships that we're building is very important.
Listening and building relationships is the key thing I'm taking from here. Okay. What qualities do you think an essential or an effective community leader would have evolving around education?
I'll say it again, asking great questions.
Asking great questions.
Asking great questions. People don't like to answer your questions. And so getting good at asking those hard questions to people and holding them accountable and not just letting them tell you any old thing, that's been an asset for me. Doing research. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot of people around here who have common ground with you. I have a lot of friends, I call in the community around me, not just locally, but also around this country, who are experts around education. And so I have a lot to learn. I think a good leader has to understand that they have to continue to invest in their leadership and take the moments to teach as well as to learn.
Okay. So are there any upcoming projects that you all are working on?
Currently, we're working on our data transparency program. We're making sure that parents are in the know that, hey, we are getting ready to put out a petition to get their feedback around a report card redesign. In January, we're hosting a parent summit, and we're going to host that at the Geodis soccer field. So we want parents to come out, bring their kids. We'll have a public school choice fair where parents can decide, like, is this the option that I have right now, is that an option that is valid for me right now? Or you may have someone going from elementary school to middle school and maybe looking for a school. And so we want to make sure that parents are fully informed about their decisions.
Okay. So in doing my research, this was the first time that I heard of Nashville P.R.O.P.E.L. How can others find your organization? And then how is it that we can get your organization in every school? Because everyone needs to be connected with you.
So people can find us at our website. It's NashvilleP.org. They can find us on our social medias. We're on every platform. It's Nashville P.R.O.P.E.L. But we are stationed right in the community where we serve. So we have an office, 1021 Whites Creek Pike. People can call me on my cell phone, 615-509-1916. I pick up at all times of night and talk to parents. We're also hosting informational starting on tomorrow at our office, 1 to 2 p.m., where people can come into our office as like a revolving door to learn about our movement.
I'm thinking about a tour.
What kind of tour are you thinking about?
Starting in Davidson County and going to every school so that every parent can know that, no, they're not alone. Because I have a grandchild that's first grade and we're working with the sight words. And so I can understand where you're coming from and to hear that we're not alone. So I foresee a tour.
Hey, I like your vision. They got to let us in there, though. A lot of people don't want to let you in their school when you're holding them accountable. There are some school partners that we have that we're working with and working on parent advocacy programs in their schools. We've been working with East Nashville Hope Exchange and various churches to make sure that the parents in those communities have the information we need. But mainly, we go to the people that we serve, and we've been able to be successful with that, going to where the people are. But I am so open to going to schools and helping schools to even partner with parents.
Okay. Now, what keeps you motivated and continued and committed to doing the work?
What keeps me motivated is the parents that I serve. I get up every day just for them.
And I bet you they appreciate you.
I appreciate them. I can't do this work alone, and we have to do this work together. And I think that that's what makes us most powerful is when we do this work together.
So how do you feel every night now that you're doing your work?
I lose a lot of sleep. I lose a lot of sleep because I know that there's so many children who need us to advocate for them.
Okay. And I thought you would have said the opposite because of the work that you have done. But that does make sense because the work is never done.
Yeah, it's so much work to do. It's so much work. And I think that partnership is very important to getting the work done. It's going to take us all to move the needle for kids. It's going to take the electeds. It's going to take parents and grandparents. It's going to take the school district. It's going to take pastors and church members. And I can't do this work alone. This work is not about me. This work is about our children. And we're better if we do this together. We're too small of a group as Black people to be divided. And I think education has been an issue that has divided us over the last few years. And that shouldn't be the case.
So I heard you mention previously parent shaming. So what would be your advice to someone who is succumbed to that and feel like it's their fault? What would you say to that parent?
I would say to that parent that they're not alone. Like, you're not the only parent going through whatever you're going through. And I think that's the importance of our organization, is to amplify those voices so that people know. Stories matter. Stories change policy. Stories change mindsets, and stories oftentimes help people to be more vulnerable. And so we do that a lot. We tell a lot of stories so that people know that they are not alone.
Okay. Now, how do you balance your personal life with your responsibilities in the community?
I think that it's, I've grown over the last 5 years. I tell people I am not the same Sonya from 2019. And when I first started this work, let me tell you something, I worked every minute of the day. But I then realized that in order to sustain the movement, I was gonna have to take care of myself. I'm not gonna always be here. And so I have to make sure that I'm modeling that even for the parents that I serve. And so what I do is I do a lot of reflection. I do a lot of meditating. I catch a lot of flights when I can to make sure that I'm taking care of myself so that we can sustain the movement and keep building.
Self-care is what I hear you say.
Self-care, absolutely.
Yes. Okay. Are there any personal habits or practice that you feel that contribute to your success?
Yeah, I think the reflection. I think that's something that as Black people, we don't do that very often. It's probably because we weren't exposed to that.
We get new furniture when we come back. We read it. I just gotta clean my stuff up, but I gotta do that when they're
Get your Mr. Reggie, get him. He's in the cat bag. No, I'm not.
Hold up, what you just did? You gave her what?
Him.
Who you give a gift to?
Dr. Nicky. Dr. Nicky Giovanni Pugh.
Okay, let me see. Don't say what is it. Don't tell me how to open my gift.
Girl, please, you ain't open it.
Thank you for my gift bag. Oh, yeah.
Hey, what made you get a gift? What made you get it?
What? It's almost Christmas.
Huh?
It's almost Christmas.
And what that mean?
Because you give people Christmas. Because she's the best teacher in the whole wide world.
All right.
Right. To sit back and kind of be self-aware and to reflect. Reflection allows me to look at the areas in which I need to grow. The other thing is the ability to help other people has been a big thing for me, whether it's contributing to my happiness or contributing to my purpose. Making sure that I'm helping other people to grow is very important.
Okay. You've covered a lot in such a short amount of time, and we really appreciate you. I know you mentioned earlier how you can be reached. Can you please say it once again, looking into the camera?
People can reach me through our website, it's NashvilleP.org, or they can reach us on our social medias at Nashville P.R.O.P.E.L, or you can call me on my cell phone, 615-509-1916, and I'll make sure that you get to one of our organizers or whomever you need to get to in our organization.
Sonya, thank you for your time, and it was a pleasure having you here.
Thank you for having me.